What's up, guys? I'm back like I never left. In this video, we're going to be talking about the major companies that are going to be reporting earnings tomorrow. We're going to go over exactly what is the expected moves that these companies could potentially have either to the upside or to the downside. I'm also going to be going over Tesla, NIO, and Hyliion stock. What is the great buying opportunity for these companies? What are the price targets that we can set for ourselves in case these stocks crash significantly to the downside? I'm also going to be doing a quick stock market recap and some important economic reports that can significantly affect the stock market, which include job reports and initial jobless claims numbers. So make sure you stay tuned. I'm going to cover all this important information coming up. Before we get into the video, I appreciate if you can hit the like button. If you have any questions or any comments, make sure you drop in the comment section below. So as you can see over here, we have the overall stock market that sold off sharply because COVID-19 cases are rising across the states and also in Europe. So that is the main leader for the stock market to go to the downside today. As you can see over here, we have all the sectors in the stock market trading to the downside. We have Microsoft that's down minus 4.96%. Yesterday, they reported their earnings, even though they had solid numbers. They sold off today. Unfortunately, we have Apple stock also down 4.63%. Tomorrow, they're going to be reporting earnings. Facebook down 5.51%. Google down 5.51%, Amazon down minus 3.76%. All of this entire stock market sectors are just beaten down to the downside. This is fueled by COVID-19 cases spreading in Europe and also in the US. We have countries like Germany taking things to the next level and implementing lockdowns. And people are also speculating that we can have a potential lockdown in the United States for the next few weeks, depending upon if the case numbers rise continuously. So that is a really bad thing to see because the stock market really does not like a lot of uncertainty. When COVID cases increase, we also have the elections that are coming up pretty soon, and we don't have any politicians that are going to take things seriously and implement any kind of stimulus to save the stock market. So we might see a huge sell-off that can potentially happen in the stock market due to these two main reasons. So be super careful if you want to participate in the stock market. Be super patient because there's going to be a lot of discounts available depending upon how things unfold till the end of this year. So the main thing that we're going to be covering, of course, is going to be what is going to be the expected moves for Amazon, Facebook, and Apple earnings for tomorrow, that they can potentially help the stock market a little bit if they can provide a very solid numbers, and if the stock market can react to these positive earnings after they report their earnings, we might see a slight bounce back to the upside. But let's go over exactly what to expect for these earnings for these companies. The expected move for Apple stock is 5% either to the upside or to the downside. So that is approximately $6.30. So after they report their earnings tomorrow on Friday, when the stock market opens, we might expect the stock to slightly gap up or gap down depending upon how their earnings reports unfold and if the overall stock market is going to have another pressure that's going to apply for these earnings. Microsoft, a few days ago, they reported their earnings reports to have solid numbers. The stock sold off to the downside, and it sold off heavy today too, due to the overall stock market just selling off because of the COVID cases that is rising significantly. So expect a significant move to happen for Apple stock. And the other company that we're going to be talking about is going to be Facebook. As you can see, it's currently trading down 5.51%, $267.67. So the expected move for Facebook is a 7% either to the upside or to the downside. So that is approximately $21. So you can expect the stock price to trade below the support area over here if it decides to sell off to the downside, and it can potentially break out to the upside depending upon if they have solid numbers reporting for Facebook earnings. So definitely keep an eye on Facebook because Snapchat reported their earnings reports and they blew it out of the park as a social media company. Even today, when the overall stock market was selling off to the downside, Snapchat was going higher and higher. So that is really fantastic to see for social media companies. So now let's talk about Amazon. So as you can see, it's currently down minus 3.76%. So the expected move for Amazon earnings is 7% either to the upside or to the downside. So if they have positive numbers and the stock decides to react positively to the upside, we might see the stock price going above and adding an additional $224 to the upside. And if things decides to sell off and they don't have solid numbers or the guidance are lower, and if the stock market just decides to react negatively to the downside, you might have to subtract $224 to the downside. So on Friday, after the stock market opens, we might expect the stock to trade right around over here. So now let's talk about companies that are going to have massive discounts in November due to the volatility of the elections and also the COVID cases rising. So Tsla stock is a company that trades significantly up or down to the downside. So if things go south, if COVID cases increase, lockdown happening, and uncertainty of the elections, you might expect Tsla stock to potentially go to $350 depending upon how things unfold with the overall stock market. So this is a great buying opportunity if Tsla can come to $350, and if things go south and there's major lockdowns happening and there's a lot of selling off happening due to the elections, we might expect Tsla stock to eventually come to $300. So definitely keep an eye on Tsla stock. This is the buying opportunity if it dips to $350 and if it goes to $300. Of course, that is going to be a very, very solid Christmas gift for Tsla. I know there's a lot of people that are expecting the stock to potentially break out of their earnings, but that did not happen. But if it goes down, I know there's a lot of people waiting to buy this company, and there are going to be a lot of buyers for Tsla stock if it goes all the way to $300. So now let's talk about another company, which is going to be NIO. NIO stock recently broke out of the $21, $22 area all the way to close to $30. Right now it's pulling back to $25. And it's currently sitting at $27.51. So depending upon how COVID cases and the election volatility, we might expect the stock to drop all the way to $20, and that is going to be a solid buying opportunity. And the earnings reports for this company is also coming up in January. I have NIO Day also, so definitely expect massive opportunity for the stock to potentially spike higher. But before that, at the beginning of November, the stock can dip significantly, so that is a fantastic buying opportunity for NIO when it dips. So keep an eye for NIO stock as it sells off to the downside for a potential adding opportunity for the next few days. So the last company that we're going to be talking about is going to be Hyliion. Hyliion stock dropped all the way to $20. As you can see, initially when it had this massive breakout to the upside, it sold all the way down, and this is the initial support area that was holding really, really strong, which was the $18, $19, $20 area. So it's approaching that price point right now. It's currently at $20. If things does not go well with COVID-19 and the election volatility, we might expect the stock to even break down below the $20 depending upon how things unfold. But this is a very solid support area, and there's earnings reports coming up for Hyliion after the election is going to be on November 12th. So that could be more positive news that can come out of the earnings reports that can help this company to recover a little bit. But right now it's not more than likely to recover in the short term because there's a lot of selling pressure with the overall stock market, COVID cases, and a lot of uncertainty going on with the world. So expect a huge discount for this company in the near future too. So watch out. If you decided to want to buy it, $20 is exactly what Kramer said, that the ideal price point to get involved in it. So we might see some more institutions to come out too. And today we have jpmorgan actually come out and say something about Hyliion. Their anticipated price target was approximately $27. So that is really good. I'm going to cover more videos about Hyliion in the future. But in this video, the ideal price point that we need to be watching out for Hyliion is potentially hold $20. If it goes below, it could potentially go to $13, $15. So that is an ideal price point to get involved in this company if there is a huge massive sell-off. So now let's talk about the major economic reports that could potentially affect the stock market for tomorrow, Thursday, October 29. At 8:30 a.m. we got the gross domestic product SAAR for Q3. The previous was negative 31.4% and the forecast is 33%. At 8:30 a.m. we got the initial jobless claims for state program SA. It's going to be for the period of October 24th. The previous was 787,000 and the forecast is 770,000. And at 8:30 a.m. we also initial jobless claims total NSA. It's going to be for the period of October 24. The previous was 1.1 million. Also 8:30 a.m. we got the continuing jobless claims state program SA. It's going to be for the period of October 17. The previous was 8.37 million. Also at 8:30 a.m. we got the continuous jobless claims total NSA. This is going to be for the period of October 10. The previous was 23.15 million. At 10 a.m. we got the pending home sale index. It's going to be for the period of September. The previous was 8.87%. So these numbers are super crucial. If we see a high or dip of these numbers, the stock market can definitely react to the downside. But as I mentioned, the stock market is mainly focused on the COVID cases and the election uncertainty. So these numbers might not have a significant impact on it in the short term. So definitely manage your risk. Make sure you have a solid plan before you get involved in any of these companies. Make sure you protect your portfolio at this point in time. So if you have any questions, any comments, make sure you drop in the comment section below. If you want to join the Discord, Patreon, sign up for Webull, links available in the description box below. Let's get it for tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.